That is on. Now we can flip this thing over. I'm gonna set it on this cardboard since the cardboard's clean, and get these bolts all down in here. Okay, let's go get this thing installed. I don't know how much longer the GoPro is going to want to be out in this heat, but I'm going to start this. I just put some power steering fluid in it, and I checked the oil. Everything's good. We're going to see how much quieter it is. Well, if you don't know, it's hot in Oklahoma right now. It's been hot for the past whole month. But today, I got the AC put together on the tracker, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut down these pieces so that I can put them on the rear of the tracker and hold my new top on, because I went ahead and ordered a new soft top for the tracker. It's right here, and it has already like pre-tinted black windows for the rear and for the back, for the side and for the back. So I'm going to cut the aluminum strip to go here, and then it'll wrap around, and I'll be able to fold the soft top underneath that. That way that can hold that, and I don't have anything to hold it here, so we're slowly going to get stuff together as we need. As you can see, all this stuff is pretty well trashed, but I would have ordered new trim plastic for the soft top already if it wasn't almost $400. But we're going to get these little aluminum pieces made. This piece will come off. It's still barely hanging on. There's still a little bit right there, but this will be going away, and we'll be putting the aluminum right here, and it'll butt all the way up against this. Well, kind of goofy. I have been running time lapse for about 10 minutes now, and just looked down and saw that it said real speed on the screen, which on the GoPro it only says real speed if you're running a time lapse. Well, anyway, I was explaining, which I'll explain again now. These, I just made these, which I have the time lapse and everything of these, but these right here will be going, that's the wrong side. These will be going right here because the old plastic trim just kind of disintegrated. There it is. This butts all the way up against there. This is just a 1-inch aluminum angle, 1/8 inch thick. I followed the guy, I think his name's Tony, Highway 83 Suzuki. I watched his video on how to make these, so if you have a tracker or whatever and you need these pieces, he's got a pretty cool video on how to build these, but the gist of it is they're 22 inches long from here to the end of this, and then you cut 3 inches and you fold it over, and it clears. I had to cut a little extra out of this, but it clears, and then it gives something for your top to grab underneath and hold on to, so that when you put your new soft top on, which I have a brand new soft top in here, it'll have something to hold on to. Because I just got the AC working in this, I kind of want the soft top on it so I can keep my nice cool air from escaping. But if I can get this stupid thing on here with one hand, I don't have anybody helping me with the GoPro tonight, so I'm by myself. But basically, you bring that flush, you bring this flush, and then you drill your holes 1, 2, 3, 4, and rivet it where it is, and then you have somewhere for your top to kind of slide underneath and hold on to. And I don't have anything up here. I'll probably have to build something for here too, but for now, this should be enough to at least hold it pretty well tight. It's probably going to flop, but this bar will be up here, and then it's got a strap that kind of goes around and buttons. It's got a button right here and on the other side of the light, and that helps to hold it in place too. But this comes up, and then this comes up as well, and gives it some added rigidity and kind of gives it its shape off of the back. So this will be going back on. I need to get a rubber seal so the door has something to seal up against when I close it. Otherwise, it's just going to be sucking my cool air right out of the back of the car. But I want to do a hard top eventually, but they're $1,300, and a soft top is like $180. So it was kind of self-explanatory when it come to what I was going to do. But I did get the AC fixed in here. I still need to add a condenser fan, but we have all the hoses are hooked up. I had to order all these hoses. I went ahead and bought a new dryer because I knew the old dryer was probably trashed. But new hoses, compressor's actually working. It's literally been sitting with no hoses on it, and the top's just been open to the element, so I'm shocked that it works. But I did put about an ounce of oil down in it, and when I kicked it on, it didn't make any funky noises, and the air started getting cold. But I can't run it unless I'm driving it like highway speeds, because I don't have a condenser fan at the moment. And I had a fan, but it was too thick to fit between the condenser and the back of the bumper, so I've got to get a slimmer fan, which I'll probably do that tomorrow. But we have AC. I put new plugs in this. I'm pretty sure it needs a cap and rotor and wires, but it's going to be going over onto a micro squirt pretty soon. I actually already have micro squirt for it. The goal is to put it on E85. I don't know how the injectors are going to like it, because it is a TBI motor. I don't know how the injector will react to E85. I'm probably going to put a bigger tank in the pump. When I go to put boost through this thing, it's definitely going to need more fuel. The soft top will be going on soon, so it'll actually be enclosed and looking a lot better than it does now. And then it'll just be little stuff. I'm just trying to piece things together. I've got to get window regulators, because my hand cranks on my windows do not work at all. I have to literally physically pull the window up and down every time I want to open the window on this. It's not perfect. I mean, it's been wrecked. That's why the grill is held in with wood screws, and it just kind of flops. It's not perfect, but I mean, it runs like a top. I have no complaints. This thing has 205,000, almost 206,000 miles on it. It's getting there, just little stuff. I mean, crap like the windshield wiper arms. I'll probably go ahead and just powder coat those a flat black to get them cleaned up. Little stuff. I did have to put a couple new tires on it. I had a blowout on the way to work one morning, so they're a little lower profile. Nothing crazy, but it had a 225/60 on it, and now these are 225/55s. I think they look a lot better. And those are Suzuki Grand Vitara wheels, for anybody that was wondering. They're 16. Somebody at some point put Grand Vitara wheels on it and threw Audi stickers on the center, which one of them fell off when I was putting a new tire on. But I'm thinking about just cleaning it up and keeping the Suzuki. I don't hate the Suzuki logo. It needs lowering springs. It really needs shocks. I cut too much out of the spring, out of the coil on the back, so we're pretty much riding on bump stops. So when I'm pulling my boat, it is awful, but it does pull my boat. I mean, I got a 14-foot aluminum boat. with an air drive on it, and it pulls it 75, 80 miles an hour, no problem. So no complaints there, but it only makes like 80 horsepower. If it wasn't for having 512 gears in the rear, it wouldn't do highway speeds, guaranteed. All in all, the tractor is coming along. I'm excited for the future, see kind of where the build goes. I was actually looking to trade it for a truck, but I'm too attached to it already. I don't want to get rid of a project that I have a bunch of goals for that I haven't even met half of yet. So we're gonna call it a night. I gotta pick up and get the batteries back on the charger and all that good stuff. Yeah, I think we're up to like 216 subscribers or 215. I don't remember. It's growing. I was surprised when we got to 100. So now we're at like 216, almost 220. We're moving along. So you guys are doing your job. I sure appreciate it. I'm going to get this uploaded, and the next video we should be going over the Dodge. I got to order some more parts for it, but the motor's in it. It's really just a matter of ordering a few more things, and I've got to knock the freeze plug out of the rear of the block and put my cylinder 6 cooling mod on it from Fleece Performance. Once that's done, we can put the transmission in. Once the trans is in, I can start doing fuel system, radiator, core support. I mean, it'll all kind of come together after that. So it'll be hopefully a pretty quick process. But the Dodge will be coming together. The Festiva, I'm waiting on pulleys. They shipped out yesterday or the day before. So like Monday, Tuesday they shipped out. So I probably won't see them until the end of the week, but I did get a tracking number, so we're just waiting on the pulleys for the Festiva, and then once my cousin's done with my welder, then I can go ahead and build charge pipe for the Festiva. And the Festiva is getting a full 3-inch exhaust. I don't know if I told y'all that or not, but the Festiva is going to have a full exhaust. It's not coming out the fender anymore. I was going to do the fender exit because everybody loves the fender exit. The Festiva is known for throwing fire out of the fender. That's not going to be the case anymore. Aside from the wastegate throwing fire, we're not going to have the exhaust coming out the fender anymore. I am going to go ahead and run the wastegate. I'm going to make the wastegate a little bit bigger, and we're going to run it out the fender. So we still will have probably fire coming out the exhaust or coming out the fender at some point, but it's not going to be just the exhaust coming off the turbo. We're going to be running 3-inch all the way back to my Apexi N1 Evolution muffler, which is like I think it's 3.5-inch inlet, 4.5-inch outlet. It's absolutely massive. We're just going to do straight pipe. I mean, the turbo acts as a muffler, so I'm not worried about putting a muffler on it other than just the pass through, whatever you want to call it. The muffler that's going on, it's not much of a muffler. If anything, it makes it louder. But we're going to be running 3-inch, and then the wastegate is going to just go straight out the fender. And the hole that's in the hood where the wastegate used to go, we're going to go ahead and just like sheet metal over it and try to clean it up, make it somewhat presentable. But the Festiva will be up and running soon. It's not going to be making no crazy numbers anytime real soon, because I still got to get the knock sensor all hooked up on it, because it does not have a knock sensor. Micro squirt, you got to do some weird stuff to add a knock sensor on. Tracker will be on standalone really soon. I got to figure out what kind of exhaust I want to do on it, because I don't want it to be obnoxiously loud, but I do want it to breathe, because the exhaust on this thing is like, I'm talking tiny. The rod length and the long stroke of the engine makes it very prone to throwing a rod when you start putting any extra cylinder pressure in there beyond a certain point. But there have been guys that have ran 12 pounds through these things. One guy said he's running 12 psi through one for like a year, and he's had 0 issues. But I'm gonna have to build my own turbo setup, the manifold and everything, because they're TBI motors. I don't really want to boost a TBI motor. I'd rather go multi-port, but finding the adapter to put a D-Series Honda intake on this thing is very difficult. Apparently there's a guy in Puerto Rico that does it. I can't get a hold of him, and if I could, I probably would have to use Google Translate anyway. I don't know. But anyway, I've been trying to find a reliable like option for running a turbo on the 8 valve, and it's proving to be difficult. So I'm gonna have to build all my own stuff, just like I did on the Festiva. So it's nothing new. It's just gonna put my fabrication skills to the test and make me better ultimately. But we're gonna get some practice in welding on this thing, and it's gonna get a full exhaust. Once it gets turboed, obviously, you know, the cat's out of the bag. We're gonna go ahead and probably run 2.5 or 3 inch all the way out the back. But for now, it's just gonna be real mild. I'm probably gonna make sure and put a muffler on it, try to keep it quiet. We're gonna call it a night. I'm pretty happy with how the tractor's turning out. It's getting there. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have the top on it. I gotta go home, get my rivets and all that stuff. So I'll probably, after I get off work tomorrow, I'll probably stay a little later at the shop and rivet those little trim pieces on, those aluminum trim pieces, and we'll get the top put on, and then actually be able to enjoy my air conditioning if I can find the slim fan that's gonna work tomorrow. I appreciate you guys watching and sitting through the whole video, because watch time is a big thing on YouTube. It helps me a lot. You guys keep doing what you're doing. Make sure you hit the subscribe if you haven't, and we're gonna keep pumping the videos out. I'm gonna try to get them out at least weekly. I'll see you guys. Thanks for watching.